I want to test my motorcycle battery with the MICRO-200PRO using the GB battery testing standard. Let me go there. Test. With the GB standard, it's the only standard on this particular tester that allows you to set the amp hours. Now this is a 14 amp hour motorcycle battery. The tester, at least the firmware, allows you to go down to 3 amp hours and all the way up to 220. You'll have to take my word for that. So let's test this battery out. So here you can see that it's displaying the measured cold cranking amps at 170. The voltage is at 12.66 and the internal resistance is 17.48 milliohms. It's also displaying that the rated amperage should be 182 amps. And it's getting that value, I believe, by the amp hours that you entered in. It's probably using like a lookup table in the firmware, and it's saying, okay, a 14 amp hour battery should have 182 amps. And then it's comparing that 182 amps to a percentage of the cold cranking amps. It must be doing something like that. Let me go back. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to, instead of saying it's a 14 amp hour, let's just say it's a 20 amp hour battery. And see what the battery tester does. So you can see that the measured values are pretty much the same. 170 cold cranking amps, 12.6 volts, 17.48 milliohms. However, it's now saying that this battery should be rated at 240 amps. And based off of a percentage of that cold cranking amps, it's saying that it's a bad battery. So replace it. And let's just go back. Oops, I'm sorry. And put that 14 back in again, just to show you that it's a lookup table. It's not a measured value. And there it is again, that 182 amps. So that 182 amps is not a measured value. That's, being taken off of whatever value you input, and then it does a lookup. Anyway, I think I beat that horse to death. But just as a recap, this battery tester has many different testing standards. But every one of these, like the cold cranking amps, they just ask for like what is the amperage, what is the rated cold cranking amps of your battery, and you put that in. The only option that allows you to enter in a amp hour is this GB option, and it goes from 3 and it goes all the way to 220, which probably means that it just has a lookup table that will do a comparison of what the amps should be. Anyway, that's the video. Take it easy.